Hello, it's Robo46 here, welcome yourselves to round 10 of Robo's Racing League on MotoGP 17 on the Xbox One. Today we're racing at Brno. Last race we raced at Silverstone. We had a pretty decent race there, so let's hope we can continue doing a good job for Brno. Of course, Brno having a couple of really shit corners where it is very easy to crash if you push too hard. Let's look at qualifying, and it is Jack who is on pole, followed by Mr. Troyolo in second place. I am in third, Lone Wolf fourth, Typical Mikey in fifth, F1 Fan sixth, Gidsy seventh, Stealing Set in eighth, Breaking Brad ninth, Chatney BMX 10th, and Dr. Monty in 11th place, with Jamie unfortunately not being able to race this week. Let's look at Jack's pole position lap. There we go, just finished one pole position lap already, and he's going on to do another one through the first corner. Can take it nice and wide and get a good run out of here through the kink. So the time he's got to beat at the moment is 1:48.6. Nice clear track as well. Crash for me. I had one crash in qualifying, and that was it, just coming up on the screen there. Jack just under his own time at the moment, just under a tenth. We'll start going downhill. This next corner can be quite shit if you go in there way too hot, because the rear will step out a little bit. Jack just over a tenth under his own time now. Crash for Breaking Brad. This is a horrible corner. If you go in there way too hot, your rear just completely goes, and down you go. You've got to go careful into that corner. Uphill. Through the left and the right. Stealing Set's had a crash. Just lost a little bit of time. Someone's just entered the track and spawned just behind Jack. Luckily didn't get in his way. And then the final corner. And the run to the line. And that is the end of Jack's pole position lap. Let's go start the race. You got me top left, Stealing Set top right, and Jack at the bottom. So let's go. Off the line, everyone getting a pretty decent start. Stealing Set popped a little bit of a wheelie and lost a couple of places. I lose a few places into first corner. Crash there for a Suzuki on the inside of Lone Wolf, I think that is. Mr. Troyolo is in the lead at the moment, with Jack just behind him. Trying to get Stealing Set. Gidsy, I believe, is up there as well. Stealing Set looking around. There's Typical Mikey's are on the Yamaha. And through there. Crash there for Mr. Troyolo. That's one of the dodgy corners. Unfortunately, he fell victim to that. I'm just behind Jack at the moment. So you've got Typical Mikey, who was in the lead. Jack's just overtaken him. Lone Wolf is just behind me on the Ducati. Mikey trying to squeeze his way through on Jack, and does so. Jack trying to get a better run out, and he does. Mikey trying to put up the inside, but Jack's on the correct side for the right-hander. Again, Typical Mikey just squeezing through. And so do I momentarily. Down the hill we go. Jack is a little bit wide. I try to go up the inside of him. Slight better drive, as does Lone Wolf, who gets both of us uphill. And Stealing Set tried to barge his way through on me. Didn't quite work. Down to fourth place at the moment. Stealing Set in fifth. Gidsy tries to get underneath me, pushes me out the way. Stealing Set comes through as well. Get back underneath both of them and do so as we finish the first lap. So we'll have a look at Mr. Troyolo's crash on the first lap. Went in a bit too tight into that corner, across the curb, and down he goes. Quite offline. And then try to get going again, and yeah, didn't get going in the best of ways, and went straight down to last place. And we're Stealing Set on the second lap. You've got me, bottom left-hand corner of your screen is stealing the set. Goes underneath me. Bit of a barge there. And Breaking Brad and Gidzy both come through as well. So I'm down to 7th. And the front pack's just starting to get away. Gidzy just forces the issue on stealing set. I go back through. A bit of bumping and barging going on, but luckily no one going down at the moment. Stealing set gets ahead of me. And gets Breaking Brad as well. This one is turning into a game of bumper cars at the moment. I have a few issues with Gidzy trying to knock me out the way. Breaking Brad goes a bit wide, I go underneath him. Try to go underneath stealing set as well because he went a bit wide. Not quite managing it. Stealing set at the moment standing in 4th, but Gidzy's coming through now. And so does Breaking Brad. Breaking Brad goes very wide though, way too hot into that corner. Back up to 5th place, still got Gidzy right behind me, tries to go around the outside, doesn't work. Try and get a good run on stealing set. Another barge there from Gidzy. So I lost a hell of a lot of time just from this battle to the front group. We'll see how Jack done it on lap number 2. He's in 3rd place at the moment. He's trying to get Lone Wolf, who's in 2nd. And typical Mikey, who's in the lead at the moment. He got a good run on Lone Wolf there, using his slipstream as well. Tries to outbrake him. Tries to go around the outside. And he's got 2nd place at the moment. So he's got to try and catch typical Mikey. He's got a little bit of a lead, but not a huge amount. Closing in. Crash for F1 Fan in 11th place. So not the best of starts to the race for F1 Fan. Jack just closing in on typical Mikey. Start going downhill. 0.3 of a second. Into this horrible corner. You'll see quite a few of us going in there just picking the bike up slightly to make sure we don't tip in there a bit too quick. Crash for Breaking Brad. As we go uphill, Jack getting a slight better drive on the KTM. Typical Mikey going very wide, Jack going through into the lead. Typical Mikey's got the inside line for the final corner. Jack getting a slightly better exit and going into the lead. So go across the line. Another crash for F1 Fan. Typical Mikey trying to go around the outside. That's not going to work. And as they go through the long first corner, typical Mikey unfortunately ends up crashing out. So typical Mikey loses a few positions. We'll see it from typical Mikey's perspective. So this is going through the last corner on lap 2. Jack comes through. Very laggy though. So Jack lagging all over the place. Going into first corner, typical Mikey very wide, Jack goes wide, typical Mikey tries to cut back, but goes on the curb. A very strange crash there. But back with me on lap number 3, still battling with Gidzy. Through the first corner, this is where typical Mikey just crashed, so there he is in the gravel. So we will make up a position on typical Mikey, so I'm up to 4th, stealing set up to 3rd place. Gidzy goes up to 4th now. Stealing set starting to break away because I'm still having this battle with Gidzy. Gets a bit wide there, trying to get a better exit. Factory Yamaha versus satellite Yamaha. Put up the inside through here, but take a line which is a bit too tight. Use a bit of drive. Gidzy trying to force his way through again. I'm on the inside for the left. Now I've got to try and pull away from Gidzy to stop him interfering with my race so that I can catch back up to Steal and Set. I've pretty much already done that already. Closing in on Steal and Set into the dodgy as fuck corner. Just trying to close in corner by corner. See, Gidzy has dropped back a little bit now, so that is good for me. Lone Wolf, he had a pretty decent lead over Steal and Set in second place. And he wasn't that far behind Jack in the lead. My focus was on Steal and Set and trying to catch him at the moment to get that third place. Good run out there. The first corner, and Steal and Set makes a mistake, goes on the curb, and down he goes out of third place. That promotes me up to third. Now I've got a big gap to try and catch Lone Wolf. And there's a huge gap to try and close down, but I was going to give it a go. I didn't really have anyone who was going to be able to interfere with me anymore. Just had to get my head down and do a bit of time trial. See if I could catch up to Lone Wolf. Steal and Set had lost a couple of places from that crash. So he's trying to catch back up to the couple of guys who got past him to regain those positions. Gap to Lone Wolf at the moment. It wasn't really coming down. It kind of stabilises just over I think it's about 2.5 seconds. Jack just starting to pull away from Lone Wolf at the moment. Because I still had Gidzy behind me in fourth, but I was pulling away from him, trying to close in on Lone Wolf. So we come to the end of lap number 4. Set's still trying to catch guys ahead of him. And that is the end of lap number 4. Got a couple of things to look at. So Mr. Troilo on lap number 3 dive bombed Chutney BMX and went down. Took Chutney BMX off track, who then crashed off the grass. But Mr. Troilo did in fact wait for Chutney BMX to catch back up, and he did let him back past. Okay. Also on lap number 4, a little bit of a battle between Mr. Troilo, Dr. Monty and Breaking Brad. Mr. Troilo currently in 9th place. Dr. Monty trying to get the inside of Breaking Brad, went in a bit too hot though. Mr. Troilo makes it 1 place and then gets a better drive up the hill than Breaking Brad. Goes past up to 7th place. Steal and Set, lap number 5, again done exactly the same as what he'd done earlier in the race. Hit the curb on the inside in the first corner, and also lap number 5 at the end, he hit the curb as well. So I had 2 crashes on lap number 5 and he dropped down to 7th. Later on dropping down to 9th place in the race. On lap number 7 with me, the gap to Lone Wolf was 1.5 seconds, so the gap was coming down. I was closing in on Lone Wolf. Crash again for Steal and Set, so he's down to 9th place at this point. Gidzy and Mr. Troilo fighting for 5th and 6th. And I was concentrating on just closing in that gap to Lone Wolf, doing what I could, trying to make sure I didn't push too hard in the corners that were dodgy, because I didn't want to end up crashing and putting in all this effort just for nothing. So 1.4 at the moment. Just doing what I could do. Just doing a bit of time trial. Just seeing how close I could get to Lone Wolf. Because we had about 3.5 laps to go. Jack was still in the lead, of course. So 1.2, it come down another 2/10. Crash for F1 fan in 8th place. Into the dodgiest corner, went in there a little bit too hot that time, but luckily stayed on. Completely missed the apex. That was a small mistake from me. Didn't lose too much time. Get a good drive up the hill, but almost went over this sausage on the inside of the curb, and if I hit that I would have crashed, and that put the gap back up to 1.8. So a couple of mistakes from me in a couple of corners. So I had to try and pull my shit together to really try and close in on Lone Wolf. Crash for Chutney BMX further back. So lap number 9 now. The gap was just over a second. We were closing in on him pretty rapidly. Come down 0.8 of a second in a couple of laps. You can see him. I wanted that second place. Closing in all the time. The gap still just over a second. Seeing if he was going to make a few mistakes as well, knowing that I was closing in. Of course, me pushing really hard, I was making a couple of mistakes as well, as we saw on lap number 7. Downhill. The last sector seemed to be the sector I kind of closed the most amount of time in, and I was closing in now. It was under a second. It was on. We are on the penultimate lap. We've got one more lap to go after this one. He went very wide there, Lone Wolf, very wide. But he's still got a good exit, squaring the corner off, going up the hill. Crash for F1 fan. As we go right. That was better by me that time around. Crash for Mr. Troilo in 4th. Typical Mikey up to 4th now. And the gap was under half a second to Lone Wolf. So we've got one lap to try and sort this one out. But also on lap number 9. This is F1's crash, which we saw at the bottom of the screen. There we go. So he had dropped down to 9th place, with stealing set just ahead of him. Back on lap number 10 now. Could I catch Lone Wolf? Could I get that second place? Taking a wider line through the first corner. Going to cut that back and try and get a better exit. Going across the curb, that would have spun his rear up a little bit. Looked like he clipped the grass as well. Okay, right with him at the moment. Gap 0.2 of a second. Obviously, we were visibly closer. Okay, so I had to try and get him where I was strongest. Lone Wolf a bit wide there, but he was going to cut that back and square it off to get a good run out. We go down the hill. Again, just closing right up on him. Trying to get underneath him through the right-hander. Not quite happening there. But it was going to be a close finish, that's for sure. Into the bullshit corner. Both went in there a little bit too hot. Lone Wolf went in there more hot than I did. I try and get underneath, but he's on the correct side foot uphill. So try and make a plan of coming in a bit tight and getting a good run out the second right-hander. But lag happened. Unfortunately, I hit Lone Wolf. So I looked behind me, but he had lagged up the track, so I didn't actually hit him, and then he lagged back. So bullshit lag there, prevented me getting past him. I didn't actually hit him, but it was just lag. It made it look like I did, because I actually thought I knocked him off, but then it started lagging. Unfortunately, I couldn't get past him. Stealing set on the final lap. He was in 8th place, and he had F1 Fan all over the back of him. Of course, we saw F1 Fan crash on lap number 9 with Steel Inset going back past him. F1 Fan had caught him back up. And this little battle had itself to sort out as well as F1 Fan goes up the inside. Steel Inset trying to get underneath, but no room there. Through this dodgy corner, Steel Inset gets a better run through there. Go down the little straight. Getting very close there. Into the right-hander. Steel Inset goes a bit wide. F1 Fan not quite close enough to get up the inside, but he tries through here. Steel Inset on the correct side for the left. Start going downhill. F1 Fan tries to go up the inside down here. Steel Inset thought he would. Went a bit wide, but on the inside for the right. A little bit of lag and a bit of a touch there which sent F1 Fan on the grass. Steel Inset went very wide in there, very close to losing the front into there. And F1 Fan trying to close back in. Up the hill, he's so close to going straight into the back of Steel Inset, but luckily it didn't quite hit him. And then up the hill, it was looking like Steel Inset had 8th place covered. The last couple of corners, F1 Fan goes a bit too hot in, and then through the final corner, and just the run to the line. So that is Brno done. Jack took the win, Lone Wolf took second, I unfortunately took third. I do feel I could have had second, but unfortunately lag happened and prevented me getting past, but it is what it is. So third place for me. Typical Mikey got 4th. Mr. Troilo 5th. Gidsy 6th. Breakin' Brad in 7th. Steel Inset 8th. F1 Fan 9th. Dr. Monty in 10th. And Chutney BMX in 11th place. It's a really good race, especially towards the end when I was catching Lone Wolf. It's good to see battles throughout the field as well. Always nice to see. But let's look to see what that has done to the overall championship now. So Jack adds another 25 points to his lead with 250 points. I'm still in second place with 148, but Lone Wolf has really closed in now in third place, just 3 points behind me with 145. Typical Mikey, he's in 4th with 129. F1 Fan is in 5th with 85. Steel Inset is in 6th with 85, so those two really close at the moment. Chutney BMX in 7th, he's 6 points behind both of them with 79 points. 1 point further back is Mr. Troilo in 8th with 78. Gidsy is in 9th with 73. So those few people are all separated by about 12 points. Dr. Monty, he's in 10th, he's got 62 points, 2 points ahead of Jamie in 11th, who didn't race this week. He's got 60 points. But as the word no longer racing, he slips down to 12th with 57. Morgan, who's no longer racing, is in 13th with 37. Breakin' Brad is in 14th with 15. And AMS Blaze is in 15th with 6 points. So that is the Rider Championship. Let's look to see what that's done to the Team Championship. Red Bull KTM still out front with 312 points. Ducati, they're still in second with 288 points. Tech 3 Yamaha team, we are still in third with 219. The factory Movistar Yamaha team are in 4th. They're not that far behind Tech 3 now. They have 206 points. Repsol Honda are in 5th with 164. And Suzuki are in 6th with 148. So that is round 10 done. 8 races left to go for the season. The next round, guys, will be at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. And that will be next Monday, which will be the 2nd of October. It's going to be an interesting race. That is where we've done the Team Sort-Out race, obviously. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more content. I shall see you guys in the next video. See you!